A storm is rising in the unseen realm, and your name has been spoken within it. For too long, you have walked beneath closed heavens, waiting for a door that refused to open. But hear this now, the decree has been released. The drought is over. The famine has ended. The angels that once watched in silence have begun to move on your behalf. Everything withheld is being redirected toward you. Every closed opportunity is being commanded to open. This is not coincidence. This is prophecy unfolding. You are stepping into the hour where your cup will overflow. If your spirit is leaping as you hear this word, do not remain still. Declare it now. Say, "I receive it," in the comments below. Let heaven record your agreement. Like this message so others may find their divine moment too. And subscribe so you never miss another prophetic release. This is not entertainment. This is an appointment with destiny, and your obedience in this moment matters. There is a decree that has gone forth in the Spirit, and your name is written upon it. Wealth, not just in currency, but in purpose, opportunity, and divine favor, has been assigned to you. You are not reaching for it in vain. You are not chasing a shadow. Heaven has already issued the release order. What was once delayed is now dispatched. What was once held in waiting has been approved. You are stepping into a moment where the unseen begins to take visible form, where spiritual promise meets earthly manifestation. Before gold can touch your hands, glory must touch your spirit. True abundance begins within, where faith takes root before provision ever arrives. You have been in a season of preparation, and though you questioned the waiting, heaven was never silent. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you chose to believe when nothing made sense, those were deposits. And now, the withdrawal is due. Spiritual wealth has been accumulating interest, and the time of collection has come. Understand this: what is coming to you is not random gain. It is divine order restoring what was always yours. You were not born for survival. You were born for stewardship. You carry within you the code of creation, the ability to manifest God's goodness in visible form. When you speak, things align. When you move, doors respond. You are a vessel of overflow, designed not to contain, but to distribute the abundance of heaven. The waiting is over. The drought has expired. Every spiritual ledger that once showed deficit is now marked paid in full. The delay was not denial. It was preparation for multiplication. You have passed the test of faith, and now heaven is fulfilling the promise of return. Lift your head, chosen one. This is your divine confirmation. The wealth assigned to your name is now in motion. You will see it, touch it, and testify of it. The season of lack has been overturned by decree, and the gates of abundance are opening before you. Right now, as you hear these words, something is shifting in the unseen realm. You may not see it with your eyes, but heaven is in motion. Finances, opportunities, and resources that once sat in the wrong hands are being reassigned by divine command. The wealth of the unrighteous is being transferred into the possession of the righteous. What you lost, what you were denied, what seemed unreachable, all of it is being realigned to serve your divine purpose. You are not witnessing coincidence. You are witnessing the reordering of divine economy. There are transactions taking place in the spirit, movements that no human hand controls. Bank accounts are being redirected. Contracts are being rewritten. Ideas once ignored are finding their investors. The system of heaven is not broken. It is exact. It delivers what belongs to you when you are positioned to receive. And now, heaven says you are in position. The tests, the pruning, the stretching, they were not punishment. They were preparation. God had to refine your heart before He released the harvest, so that when overflow came, you would carry it with purpose, not pride. Understand this: divine wealth is never random. It follows alignment. When your spirit obeys the rhythm of heaven, provision begins to obey you. The same hands that once closed doors will now extend keys. The same people who overlooked you will soon speak your name in rooms they never invited you into before. God is orchestrating favor through unexpected vessels. You will see reversals that make no earthly sense. This is the hour of divine transfer. The ones who hoarded will release. The ones who mocked will marvel. The ones who manipulated will lose their grip, because God is repossessing what was never meant to stay with them. And He is placing it into the hands of those who will build, bless, and multiply, hands like yours. You have been anointed for this assignment, and the timing is sacred. Heaven's clock has struck the hour of release. But hear this warning: the window is open, not permanent. When God moves, obedience must meet opportunity. You cannot delay what heaven is commanding. This is not the time to question your worth. It is the time to walk in it. Speak the language of faith, move with conviction, and receive without fear. You are standing in the center of a supernatural exchange, a divine redistribution of wealth that bears your name. Step forward, chosen one. Destiny is transacting in your favor. There comes a moment in every divine story when heaven no longer watches, but intervenes. That moment is now. You have carried the weight of lack for too long, not just your own, but the burden passed down through generations. Poverty has spoken through your bloodline, whispering lies that survival is all you deserve. It has stolen dreams, limited faith, and bound vision. But hear this clearly: that voice is being silenced. The curse of lack that clung to your family is breaking by the power of divine authority. This is not just about money. It is about identity. For years, you have fought battles that didn't begin with you. Mindsets of scarcity, cycles of fear, and invisible ceilings that stopped progress just before breakthrough. You thought it was bad luck, but it was bondage. You thought it was your fault, but it was warfare. And now, God Himself steps into the fight. His presence comes like fire, burning through the chains of limitation that wrapped around your inheritance. You are standing at the threshold of freedom, where everything that held your name captive must now let go. Every stronghold of lack, every belief that said, "You will never have enough," every generational pattern of debt, every fear of not being worthy is being uprooted. God is not negotiating with your past. He is overthrowing it. What your ancestors could not conquer, you will. What others in your family accepted, you will reject. The lineage of scarcity ends with you. You are the one chosen to rewrite the story, to show that divine abundance is not only promised, but possible. Can you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere? The breaking in your spirit? This is your release. This is the moment heaven cuts the cord between you and every lie that told you not enough. God is restoring dignity where shame once lived. He is breathing life into dreams buried by financial struggle. You are not cursed. You are commissioned. You are not empty. You are being refilled with vision, wisdom, and divine strategy. Lift your head, chosen one. The war for your provision is over. The curse has been broken, not by your strength, but by His command. Stand in this holy moment. Let the tears fall if they must, because this is not emotion, it is deliverance. You are no longer bound to lack. Heaven has declared it finished. The chains of poverty are shattered forever. It happens in an instant, not after years of effort, not after endless striving, but in a divine breath. Heaven moves, and everything shifts. The doors that were sealed suddenly swing open. The calls you stopped waiting for begin to come. The opportunities that seemed lost reappear, multiplied and glowing with divine favor. You have stepped into the moment of suddenly, the season where God accelerates what once crawled, where the harvest you almost gave up on erupts all at once. The air feels different here. It is thick with promise, electric with divine orchestration. Every delay was a setup, every disappointment a disguised rerouting. God was not ignoring you, He was aligning you. You were being prepared for overflow, not trickle. You were being stretched to hold abundance, not just receive it. Now, the heavens are pouring. The same hand that once withheld is now releasing with no restraint. The blessings do not arrive one by one. They rush in like a flood, unstoppable, undeniable, overwhelming. You can feel it, the divine sequence unfolding with precision. Bank accounts increasing without warning, ideas turning to income overnight, doors that were bolted by men being opened by angels. The overflow is not random. It is the visible proof of invisible faith. It is the reward of endurance, the evidence that heaven never forgot your name. You are living in the prophecy that once felt too big to believe. The waiting built your foundation. The delay shaped your capacity. You thought nothing was happening, but God was building infrastructure inside you, the strength to handle increase without breaking, the wisdom to manage blessing without pride, the humility to carry wealth without losing worship. And now the moment has come. The windows of heaven are open wide. The floodgates roar with power. You are not chasing blessing anymore. Blessing is chasing you. This is what divine overflow feels like. Surreal, unstoppable, holy. One breakthrough after another, miracle after miracle, favor after favor, until it becomes difficult to keep count. You have entered a divine rhythm, where each day carries evidence that God's promises were never delayed, only scheduled. Lift your hands in gratitude. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing meeting divine readiness. You have reached the point where faith becomes fruit, where prayer becomes manifestation, where lack turns to laughter. Heaven has remembered you. The downpour has begun. Stand still in awe. You are standing in your overflow. Before wealth arrives in your hands, it first whispers in your spirit. The atmosphere begins to shift, though you may not recognize it at first. Suddenly, you sense a strange calm in the middle of chaos. Bills still exist, challenges still appear, but something inside you has changed. The anxiety that used to rise is gone. There is peace where there once was panic. That peace is not ordinary. It is the divine signature of coming abundance. Heaven quiets your soul before it fills your life. You begin to notice divine alignments, people appearing at the right time, conversations leading to doors you never planned to open. Small ideas start burning brighter in your mind, and solutions come effortlessly. You feel drawn to act differently, to organize, to plan, to prepare. Those are not random impulses. They are spiritual signals that heaven is preparing you for possession. Before overflow arrives externally, order begins internally. Sometimes the signs appear through discomfort. Old friendships fade, old patterns break, and familiar spaces no longer feel right. It may feel like loss, but it is repositioning. God removes what cannot survive your next level. The pruning precedes the blooming. If doors are closing, it is not rejection, it is redirection. Every shift, every shake, every silence is heaven clearing the path for what is already on its way. Even the tests are signs. When your faith is tried, it is proof that your promise is near. The enemy only fights what carries value. The intensity of your opposition is confirmation of your spiritual promotion. You are not being punished. You are being prepared to handle what's coming without breaking under its weight. And then there's that unexplainable knowing. Deep inside, you just feel it. You can't prove it, but you know something massive is approaching. That knowing is the Spirit bearing witness that manifestation is already unfolding. You are not waiting for wealth. You are watching it form in real time. Pay attention. Heaven always sends evidence before it sends overflow. The signs are all around you. Divine timing, unexpected favor, unusual peace, and doors opening in sequence. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. The wealth you've prayed for is no longer coming. It's already here, unfolding piece by piece before your eyes. Faith is the currency of heaven, the invisible exchange that unlocks visible abundance. Before anything can appear in your hands, it must first be established in your heart. Every divine promise requires belief as its first deposit. When you believe without evidence, you are telling heaven, I trust you more than I trust what I see. That trust becomes a magnet for miracles. Wealth without faith is fragile. It fades with fear. But faith without fear multiplies, drawing divine provision into your life with supernatural precision. You must understand, faith is not wishing, and it is not passive waiting. Faith is the act of standing still in certainty while the world shakes around you. It is walking through emptiness, as though overflow is already pouring. It is giving thanks for the door before it opens and celebrating the harvest before the seed even breaks through the soil. When you speak faith, you create alignment between your spirit and heaven's agenda. Every "I believe" you utter sends ripples into the unseen, commanding what is yours to find you. This is why some remain barren in blessing. They believe only after seeing. But true wealth flows to those who see while believing. Faith is not about comfort. It's about conviction. It demands surrender when logic screams otherwise. It is choosing divine truth over visible limitation. The moment you release fear and choose faith, the atmosphere around you changes. Angels begin to move. Delays begin to dissolve. What once felt impossible begins to rearrange itself to match your declaration. Faith births abundance because it invites partnership. God does not need your strength. He desires your agreement. When you trust His timing, His method, and His promise, you open the gate for divine resources to locate you. You stop chasing what is already chasing you. So stand firm, chosen one. Speak what you believe until it manifests. Let your words echo with expectation, not doubt. The soil of your faith determines the size of your harvest. Abundance begins not in the wallet, but in the whisper of unwavering trust that says, "It is done." There comes a moment when heaven stops waiting. The word has been spoken, the promise has been released. And now the test is not of faith, but of obedience. God is calling you to move, and He is calling you now. Divine timing is sacred, and when heaven opens a window, hesitation becomes disobedience. You cannot pray for overflow and remain still. The waters part only when your feet touch the river. The miracle moves when you do. This is the command in the Spirit. Act on what you've heard. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for response. There is an urgency in this hour, not of fear, but of divine momentum. The delay that once surrounded your destiny is breaking, but if you refuse to move, it will reform around your hesitation. Heaven rewards the hand that acts in faith. Every instruction you obey is a seed that multiplies your future. Every act of giving, every step of courage, every yes to divine prompting, it all becomes the doorway through which abundance flows. Understand this: God is not just sending wealth, He is testing readiness. He measures your obedience before He multiplies your portion. To those who act, He entrusts more. To those who hesitate, opportunities fade like mist in the morning. The enemy of overflow is not lack, it is delay born of fear. You have prayed long enough. You have waited long enough. This is the moment to rise and do what your spirit has been whispering. Move in faith. Launch the idea. Sow the seed. Forgive the one who wronged you. Speak the declaration. Step into the assignment. For every act of obedience, heaven responds with acceleration. When you act, divine alignment follows. When you delay, destiny waits. This is not a season to question. It is a season to execute. God has already gone before you. Every resource, every helper, every open door is positioned, waiting on your motion. Do not let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Act, and the overflow will meet you in the movement. Obedience is not costly. It is the bridge to the blessing. There is a rise coming that no one will be able to deny. The very mouths that spoke against you will go silent in awe. Those who mocked your faith will stand as witnesses to your fulfillment. What once looked like delay was divine setup. God was not ignoring you. He was preparing a stage large enough for your testimony to be seen. The same eyes that watched you struggle will now see you soar, for heaven takes pleasure in turning private pain into public proof. Understand this truth: God's justice is not revenge. It is revelation. He does not strike your enemies down. He elevates you in front of them. Your victory becomes the sermon they cannot argue with. When God lifts you, it is not to boast, but to broadcast His glory. You will not need to defend yourself. Your success will speak louder than your silence ever could. Every insult, every doubt, every betrayal will now serve as a backdrop for divine vindication. The tables are turning. The stone they rejected will become the cornerstone of a new foundation. You were hidden because exposure too early would have wounded your purpose. But now the hiding is over. The anointing that was shaped in your struggle is ready to be revealed. God is positioning you where those who thought you'd fail must now acknowledge your favor. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are not rising to prove them wrong. You are rising to prove God right. You will stand in places they said you'd never reach. You will hold what they said you'd never touch. And yet, your spirit will not carry bitterness, only gratitude. Because when God raises you, He also refines you. The elevation is not just for you, it is for every soul who needs to see that obedience wins. Faith works, and delay does not mean denial. Chosen one, you are entering a season where your results will speak prophecy. Your life itself will become evidence of divine favor. Let them watch, not in envy, but in revelation. For your rise will be the proof that no human word can override what heaven has decreed. When the breakthrough comes, it does not just change your bank account, it transforms your being. You will wake up without the weight of worry that once followed you like a shadow. The air will feel different, lighter, filled with peace that passes understanding. The fear that used to whisper, "not enough," will lose its voice entirely. Because now, you will know that your source was never your salary, never the market, never man. It was always God. This is the transformation heaven intended, not just to fill your hands, but to free your heart. True wealth is not about luxury, it is about liberation. It is the ability to give without fear, to rest without guilt, to serve without lack. You will no longer count coins, you will count blessings. The pressure to survive will be replaced by the joy to sow. The same hands that once held on in desperation will now open freely, releasing generosity like a river that never runs dry. And as your abundance grows, so will your discernment. You will learn to value time more than things, peace more than possessions, calling more than comfort. You will begin to walk with calm confidence, knowing that divine favor is not fragile. It is your inheritance. Gratitude will become your daily rhythm. Every blessing will remind you not of your power, but of God's faithfulness. You will bless others effortlessly, not for recognition, but out of overflow. You will become the answer to someone else's prayer. Every act of kindness will echo the same truth, that the true purpose of wealth is stewardship, not status. The world will see light in how you live, not just in what you own. Chosen one, this is the life God has been shaping you for. A life where peace reigns, generosity flows, and purpose drives every decision. You will no longer chase after blessings. Blessings will follow you, drawn to your obedience and anchored in your gratitude. This is abundance matured, wealth purified by wisdom. You are no longer surviving. You are reigning in divine balance. You were not chosen just to receive wealth. You were chosen to carry it with purpose. Divine abundance was never meant to end with you. It was meant to flow through you. What God places in your hands is sacred, a tool for transformation and testimony. This is not ordinary wealth. This is assignment wealth. It carries a mission, a mandate, and a message: to build, to bless, and to bring light where there has been lack. God does not bless you to indulge. He blesses you to influence. Your abundance is an instrument of compassion, to feed the hungry, clothe the forgotten, uplift the weary, and fund the visions that carry His name. Every resource you gain carries heaven's fingerprint. You are not an owner, but a steward, entrusted with a divine treasury meant to shift lives. And as you give, you multiply, not just in finances, but in faith, favor, and fulfillment. Understand this: true prosperity has purpose. It is not about accumulation, but activation. Wealth without mission decays, but wealth aligned with heaven expands. You are called to advance the kingdom, to fund dreams bigger than yourself, to bring justice where there was imbalance, and to remind the world that generosity is power sanctified. Every seed you sow becomes a declaration: I trust the giver more than the gift. When you walk in divine purpose, your wealth becomes worship. Each act of giving becomes an offering that echoes in eternity. You will begin to see how God uses your abundance as a weapon against darkness, how a single act of obedience can break chains, open doors, and heal hearts. Chosen one, you are stepping into a sacred role, not a collector of blessings, but a distributor of divine resources. You are heaven's channel on earth. Your wealth is not just for your comfort. It is for God's cause. The mission is clear: to use what you have been given to illuminate, to uplift, and to leave a legacy of light that no darkness can erase. Hear this final decree. Chosen one, the heavens have spoken, and the word concerning your life is settled. The delay is over. The opposition is broken. The waiting has served its purpose. You are now stepping into the fulfillment of every promise that was once only whispered in your spirit. What God began in silence will now thunder in manifestation. This is not a prediction. It is prophecy fulfilled. You have endured the tests, walked through the drought, and remained faithful when the soil looked barren. Heaven has recorded your endurance, and now the time of reward has come. The financial release that was once pending has been stamped with divine approval. The hands that withheld are being loosed. The gates that were shut are swinging open. You will see transactions, opportunities, and alignments appear without struggle, for the word itself has gone before you. No force of darkness can delay what has been decreed by divine authority. No enemy can intercept what bears your spiritual signature. No fear can rob what faith has already unlocked. The promises written over your name were not conditional on circumstance. They were sealed in covenant. And now, that covenant is being activated in real time. This is the moment heaven and earth agree concerning your abundance. The angels assigned to your destiny are moving. The resources marked for your purpose are being released. You are not stepping into possibility. You are stepping into fulfillment. Every delay was a setup for divine perfection. Every closed door was protection until the right one opened by command. Chosen one, your cup will overflow. Not someday, now. The atmosphere around you is shifting. The old season cannot contain the new oil. Stand firm, lift your hands in faith, and declare it aloud. It is done, because it is. Your name is written on breakthrough. Your house is marked by favor. Your destiny is sealed in abundance. This is the final prophecy, the moment where promise becomes possession, where faith becomes fruition. Walk boldly into it, for heaven has already said yes. Your cup will overflow. Say it again until your spirit believes it. Your cup will overflow. Not in fragments, not in portions, but in fullness. Heaven is not sending a trickle. Heaven is releasing a flood. Every dry place in your life is about to bloom. Every area that once carried shame will now shine with glory. You have stepped into the hour of divine completion, the moment when prophecy turns into proof. Your cup will overflow. Every word that was spoken in faith is now bearing fruit. Every tear that fell in secret has become a seed of harvest. You are walking into rooms that once rejected you, and now they will open in honor. The favor on your life will speak before you do. The tables have turned. The story has shifted. You are not waiting for breakthrough. You are living inside of it. Your cup will overflow. The chains of lack have shattered. The drought has ended. The oil is flowing and will not stop. You will give and never run out. You will bless and never feel empty. The abundance that surrounds you now will not be temporary. It will become your new normal. Every loss is being restored with interest. Every closed chapter replaced by divine expansion. Your cup will overflow. You will not apologize for the blessings God gives you. You will carry them with humility, knowing they were never meant for pride, but for purpose. You will use what you have to heal, to build, to elevate others. You will live as a vessel of divine generosity, a walking reminder that obedience produces overflow. Your cup will overflow. This is the moment heaven confirms what was promised. The spiritual has met the physical. The unseen has become seen. And as you hear these words, something within you knows it's already done. You can feel it. The peace, the certainty, the holy stillness. It's as if heaven itself is standing before you, whispering the same truth again and again. Your cup will overflow. Your cup will overflow. Your cup will overflow. Now, walk as if it's already filled. Speak as if it's already poured. Live as if nothing can stop what has begun, because the word has been spoken, and heaven never speaks in vain.